from ODB, but that'll be a waste of time. Probably have to clap him, run and talk tonight. About a box in the drops for 4 blocks. Plotting the jokes up for that rock corrupt cop. But you can just show like 4 million, got something to live for. So when a nigga putting both through that building, who don't? A man handle Mariah like, bitch, get on the ground. You ain't with Tommy no more, who gon' protect you now?
What's the deal, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Kane. Please make sure you subscribe and you hit that bell so you always know when I drop that work. These what if videos are a real joy for me to create because they're not just hypothetical, they're also driven by real life events that actually happened, so there's really no limits. Today marks the 24th anniversary of the day 50 Cent was shot 9 times. Just saying that is so crazy sometimes. But in this video, we're going to take a look at how the rest of 50 Cent's life would have looked like if he never got shot 9 times. So it's May 24th, 2000, 161st Street, Jamaica, Queens, New York. Fifth is 24 years old. He's sitting in a parked car with his friend right outside his grandma's house. A car pulls up next to them and starts spraying. In this story, by the grace of God, 50 wasn't even hit once. His friend, on the other hand, was hit several times in the chest and eventually dies in the hospital. Everything happens so fast. 50 is in complete shock, but he's gradually able to gather himself, and he knows that one of the only men crazy and powerful enough to try to kill him was Kenneth Supreme McGriff. He was the leader of the infamous Supreme team and also one of the most feared drug lords in Southside Jamaica, Queens. So we're gonna veer off a little and I'm gonna give you guys some real facts about 50 and Preem's history. So when 50 was a youngin', he looked up to Supreme as well as the rest of the crew. Seeing all the money they were getting was very motivating to him. He never worked directly with the Supreme team, but he definitely followed in their footsteps. He was moving weight, he was getting money, he was robbing cats, he knew how to scrap, he would clap at you, and everybody on the south side knew that Boo Boo was a menace. Fifth respected Preem, but he was not scared of Preem. He was also never going to allow himself to be controlled by anyone. Preem was used to being able to control people, so it was only a matter of time before the two would clash.
I remember Preem coming to the block one day and a nigga tried to like sun 50 and rub his head, and 50 rubbed his head. And Preem, and that was the day I know Preem didn't like 50.
In 1994, when Supreme got out of prison, he aligned himself with Ja Rule and Murder Inc. He was trying to go legit and get into the movie industry. 50 really hated that Supreme was rocking with Murder Inc. instead of him because he felt like he was more authentic. He was really living what he was talking about. He wasn't just writing raps for fun. In April of 2000, 50's song Ghetto Quran was leaked, and on the song he shows love to all the legendary drug dealers from Queens.
When that song came out and you first heard it, how did you feel?
I felt good. I felt he bigging our hood up. He bigging Queens up. You know what I mean? I felt good. You know what I mean? I feel he putting, because you know, when people say something about Queens, they're like, Queens? You know what I'm saying? They don't give us, and when he made that, I'm like, yo, yeah, show them what it is. You know what I mean? I ain't had no problem with that.
Fifth mentions Supreme in the song. Even though he says he was paying homage, Preem was furious. He thought 50 was dry snitching and bringing unwanted attention. The Ghetto Quran was the last straw for Supreme. He had to put an end to the 50 Cent problem. That's when he paid Hamo for the May 24th assassination attempt. So continuing with the what if scenario of 50 not only surviving but also not getting shot 9 times, Fifth lost his man. All he can think about is revenge. He got to get back at Preem somehow. It's a known fact that Ja Rule during this time was absolutely on fire. It was hit after hit after hit, bro couldn't miss. 50 had to be sick watching all of Ja Rule's success, and to make matters worse, Columbia Records really dropped 50 from the label after the shooting, and the Power of the Dollar album, which was supposed to be his debut album, was shelved. Even though Power of the Dollar was unreleased, obviously you can go listen to it still, I thought it was cool. 50's pen game was stupid, but I don't think that it would have shook the industry or anything like that. And Columbia might have still ended up dropping 50. In real life, 50 had a hard time getting record deals because Irv Gotti and Murder Inc., with the influence they had at the time, made sure that nobody would sign Fifth. Studios wouldn't even let 50 show up to record his music. On May 21st, 2002, 50 released the Guess Who's Back mixtape on an independent label called Full Clip Records. Guess Who's Back was Ignatius. It was daring and it was dope enough to get the attention of Eminem, who would eventually sign 50 Cent to Shady Aftermath. Things were finally looking up for 50. After all the gangster shit he'd been through, the shooting, being blackballed, he now was going to be working alongside of Dr. Dre and Eminem. I think this was the best scenario for 50. There were other labels that eventually came around and wanted to sign Fifth, like Universal, Def Jam, Jive Records. Do you guys think that they would have worked with the other labels? Because I just can't see that. As talented as 50 was, he had a lot of enemies. Signing him meant y'all got beef with everyone too. And I don't think a lot of these labels would have stood by Fifth. Now the biggest factor in this what if scenario for me is Fifth's voice.
After you got shot, because you got shot in the mouth among the 9 shots, you were already a rapper, and so at the point when you kind of woke up and you're like, wow, my instrument has changed, my voice sounds different.
I mean, absolutely, this voice is the better one.
Oh yeah. I mean,
this is the one that worked.
When I listen to How to Rob, that first
It's a
single,
lot
you
louder.
sound very clear and clean, and then the records you get after you got shot,
Completely
it's
darker.
hissy, it's
harder.
darker, it's an iller sound.
Wow, I mean, that I never really thought about that very much outside of, like my grandmother, she had a tough decision to make for me when I was actually shot because my tongue swole up. There's a fragment of a bullet inside my tongue.
Still.
Yeah, and because my tongue swole up to the point that it was blocking my breathing passage, they wanted to give me a tracheotomy, and it would have changed my voice dramatically. And my grandmother knew that if I didn't have right music as an option, that it wouldn't be very much positive.
Talent is extremely important, but having that distinctive voice is everything. M has that distinctive voice. Pac had a distinctive voice. Biggie had it. I think that 50 would have done very well as an artist on Shady Aftermath with that old voice, but I don't think his career would have been as prominent. Could you guys imagine every song on Get Rich or Die Tryin with Fifth's old voice? Do you think that songs like In the Club and Many Men would have that same ring to it? Y'all get in the comment section. In regards to the beef between Fifth and Ja, I think whether Fifth was the biggest thing in hip hop or just kinda popular, him being next to arguably the greatest producer ever in Dr. Dre and arguably the greatest rapper ever in Eminem would have always been too overwhelming for Ja Rule. Those boys at Shady Aftermath and anybody affiliated with them, they were just all too familiar and comfortable in war. I think that if 50 would have been on any other rap label, Ja could have potentially won the beef, or his career wouldn't have taken that big of a hit from 50. The way Fifth's career unfolded despite the shooting, all the rap beefs, and the hip-hop politics, it was beyond divine. On January 3rd, 2003, this is facts here, the feds raided Murder Inc., which led to a 2-year case against Chris and Irv Gotti because they were suspected of laundering drug money for Supreme. That was another big thing that crippled Murder Inc., especially financially. On February 9th, 2007, Supreme ended up getting life in prison for murder conspiracy and drug trafficking. It's like everybody that went against 50 is either literally dead or metaphorically dead, like their careers just vanished, they just died. I want to thank everybody for watching the video, I truly appreciate it. Please make sure you like, get in the comment section, and let me know how you feeling. And also follow me on Instagram at I'm Hurricane Isaac 95. I'm gone, peace.